completely opposite of Zaina. I see that fire in her eyes, and I'm guaranteed like passionate sex, not even a question.
Scotty came hard. I hate to say it, but there's something there.
My understanding of the ultimatum was always someone is questioning their relationship, so they bring their partner to this show to sort of see if they can sort of address the concerns that they have in their relationship and see how they can move forward. So the idea that you would have people like JR, even his partner Zaina, and people like Scotty come up to this show, and Dave, who think they are there to date and find new partners and sort of trade in the old model, doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, I'm so sorry about the late reviews. I've just had some personal issues I've been dealing with, and now I should be able to sort of do one episode a day for the ultimatum and see if I can finish. I don't think I'll finish before Christmas. I think I will finish reviewing it after Christmas. But anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing The Ultimatum, Season 3, Episode 1. I'm really hoping for big things. After seeing the South African one, they better do better. Even the queer one was way better than the OG. Anyway, so we get to see Nick and Vanessa. They're sat down with the couples. They're just sort of explaining the process of what is going to happen. They do advise them that this year they will be giving them engagement rings. So if you want to get married, you can get a ring. And it's like, I hope people don't get rings just because they want to be on the show. I really hope so. Otherwise, it's going to be something else. Anyway, so the first couple we meet are Zaina and JR. Zaina is the one who issued the ultimatum. They've been dating for 3 years and they met on a dating app. And so she is saying she's ready to get married. He is not sure. And it's like, well, if someone is not sure and is not giving you any indication that there is a possibility that they're going to be sure, then it's time to pack your bags and leave. Next up is Nick and Sandy. They've been dating for 2 years, 5 months. Nick seems to be a bit older and apparently has lived in LA for a lot longer. So he wants to move to the countryside, sort of get some dogs, get a wife, kids and stuff. And she is saying, I've just barely moved here, so I want to sort of cement my career. And it's like, well, in that case, maybe he needs to jump ship and look for someone who has the same goals as him. They've been dating for 2.5 years, which is amazing because on the Ultimatum South Africa, we had someone who had been dating for a couple of months. So at least if they've been dating at least 2 years, it makes sense that you're starting to want to know where are we going. Next up is Mariah and Caleb. She's 24. They've been dating for 2 years, and she says apparently from the moment they started dating, she told him, well, more or less that she wanted someone who was ready to get married. So she seems to have her ducks in a row. I know 24 people say is young, but at the end of the day, if you look at the woman's biological clock and the most ideal time to have a child, I guess the window is quite small. So they've been dating for 2 years, as I said. She wants to get married and she wants kids, and then you have another partner, Dave, say he wants to get to know Mariah. And it's like, this is not a dating show. You need to go to Love is Blind. This is not it for you, love. This is not it. You're too old for Love Island, so you need to go Love is Blind. You can't be sort of talking about wanting to get to know somebody else's partner. That doesn't make sense to me. And then Vanessa came in with her partner Dave, who is 34 years old, but at his big age, he still wants to sort of get to know somebody else's partner. And it's like, make it make sense. Make it make sense, buddy. Are you here to work on your relationship, or are you looking for someone to date? Are you looking to sort of partner swap so that you can move on to your next conquest? Make it make sense. After the couples are shown the rings, they're dismissed for their final night as couples, and then the next day they're going to break up and date for a week, and then after that they're going to then decide who they want to couple up with. And so this man really annoys me already, David. I'm calling him David, but his name is Dave, because he's very patronizing and very arrogant. When he sits down with his partner, he's busy saying, oh, I really liked one of the girls there, Mariah. She's very, how do you know you're ready for marriage? How do you know? Maybe I will leave this experiment to somebody else. And it's like, this guy thinks he's on a dating show as in to find his next conquest, not because he's on a dating show to sort of commit to his partner. I don't even know how they brought him onto the show. I really don't know how he slipped through and he was able to find a seat at the table. He should have been sent home because he's not there for the right reasons and is just wasting his partner's time and the producer's time. But then I guess they need a jerk every season. Next up, when the couples go to their rooms, we then meet Chanel and Micah. Chanel is 27. She says she wants to get married to Micah. She's been dating him for two and a half years, and it seems they've really worked very hard to get to where they are. Apparently, she used to do Uber Eats, and he used to sort of drop off her orders with her after he had finished his job. And now she's recently got a job in marketing. And his argument is, you really wanted this job. You've worked very hard to get this job. So if you decide we get married and you want kids, then you have to put the job on the side. And it's like, yeah, you can put your job on hold and have kids, but the problem is if you focus on your career and don't think about everything else, you'll become one of those people that get to wake up one day and realize that they've missed the window to have children. They try IVF, they try surrogacy, they try everything and it fails, and then they're constantly miserable. I remember I used to have a patient who used to be very horrible to us every time other people's children came to see them. So I understand where she's coming from. She's 27 years old. It's not like she's 18. So if she wants to have children, then she needs to sort of vocalize that, and he needs to decide, does he want to stay with her or not? He says, one day you're going to be my wife. Yes, I'm going to be your wife, but if I can't have children for you at that stage, you might end up leaving me. So what's the point? Looking at all these couples, I'm going to say these people are there to chase clout. I'm just going to say it now. And there's going to be a lot of unnecessary drama because everybody wants to be the standout star from the show. That's the impression that I get, because otherwise it doesn't make sense. The last couple we meet are Aria, who's 25, and Scotty, who's 30. They've been dating for 3 years, but apparently it's been a long distance relationship in the sense that they've constantly lived in different towns or different counties. So it's very difficult for them to sort of bond, intimately because of that. And so they're sort of questioning whether this is a good idea. Yes, Scott is saying, what I want is someone who's available for me emotionally, and you are always in a different state and I'm always in a different state, so there's not that emotional connection. And it's like, well, if this is your problem, what are we doing on the ultimatum? What are we doing here? People are there to be reality TV stars. I don't think any of them are there because they want to save their relationships. I think it's going to be like last season, or was it season 2 where couples went? Yeah, season 2 where couples went on it and then broke up and then later made up and they're back together again. I don't remember ever hearing, outside of the couple that stormed off during the coupling ceremony because the partner couldn't get the guy she wanted, and the guy who married this girl because she was pregnant. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone else get married on the show. I don't know. I can't wait. In the morning, everyone is saying goodbye to their partners. So they say goodbye as they all go to the speed dating phase, whereby they'll talk to every other person that's there and see who they think they're aligned with. JR and Zaina. I think Zaina is excited. She's excited. I don't even know why she came out in that lingerie or nightwear that she was wearing. That was a bit too much. Maybe that's just me being a snob. And so you have them say their goodbyes. Every couple says goodbye, and they're now considered technically single. And the speed dating phase is next. The speed dating was interesting. It was interesting to see some people's egos be bruised and then to see some people do better than they actually thought they were going to do. JR seemed very popular with the ladies for reasons best known to them. I don't know what stands out about him, but they really seemed to like him. And also, it was interesting to see how, Zaina sort of bonded with Scotty. They seemed to get along because they both issued the ultimatum, and so Zaina wanted to find out why he issued the ultimatum, and she was very impressed because this is a man. He's 30 years old. He knows what he wants. Apparently he was married at 22 because he grew up in a church, and so this was sort of following up his parents' plan for him, but to abstain from sex until you're married, this, that, and the other. And so he's at a point whereby he's realized that he's ready to get married again, and so he's issued the ultimatum. So that was interesting to see. Poor man, Dave didn't do as well as he expected. He didn't. I think he thought he was going to be very popular. He had actually told Vanessa that he's going to be very popular. And so he struggled because the person that he wanted, Mariah, he was unable to impress her. So it was interesting to see his bubble burst. And some of the other dates were really sad, really. They were really sad to watch. And Mariah was very upset when she realized that Caleb was actually bonding with people like Aria. And it's like, what do you expect? You come on a dating show where you know they're going to be beautiful people just like yourself, and they are after the same thing that you're after. So you're giving each other a pass to cheat. And if your relationship is not strong enough, your partner is going to cheat. There's no two ways about it. It's about, will you be able to forgive your partner after they cheat, and will you be able to move on? And so I can't wait to see what really happens with them once, you know, they've gone through this process, and see if they're really going to make their relationships work. But it seems some of the guys are more popular than others, and most of the girls, we didn't really see any of the girls struggling. So it's going to be interesting to see who matches with whom. They get ready for their evening dates. I wonder if has already started auditioning for his next role, because he talked us through his, you know, his get ready with me, and it's like, oh, hey, if future influencer, you might as well start now. And then so they all arrived at the cocktail, and then they decided to play this game, and I knew someone was going to cry. Aria said, every time I've played this game, somebody leaves upset, and I'm not surprised. I really am not surprised. There are games that you don't play, but anyway, they want to instigate drama, so what do? Bring in a mess. So the first question Aria's asked is, who did you have the least chemistry with, or who was your worst date? And she said, Dave. Dave's ego was bruised. Because he thought he was the it, and so for him to be told that actually you're not, really bruised his ego. And so he was saying she was my top, and it's like, yeah, just because someone is your top doesn't mean you're going to be on their top of their list. And also the fact that he was bragging to his partner that, what if I find somebody else I like here? It's like, oh, this is messy. Caleb was asked, who would you like to share a bed with? He said Aria. His partner was not impressed. You could see she was upset. And it's like, well, what do you expect when you bring someone to the ultimatum? To show where you know you're going to be swapping partners. Obviously, they're going to show out and show off. So here we go. Jer is a jackass. He is a jackass. He's asked, you know, which one of the guys would you not want to date your ex? And he points at Nick and he says, this guy. And it's like, Nick actually responds and says, my name is Nick. And you went, no, I know what your name is, but I just don't want to say your name. And it's like, that's, a jackass move. What has he done to you? You're playing a game. Why are you going below the belt? If you're hurt or if you're feeling some type of way, then stay out of the game. There's no need for you to say that or be that disrespectful, because if tables were turned and if Nick did the same thing to you, you'd be feeling some type of way and you'd be calling him names. Next question is for, it's for Nick. He is asked who intimidates you, and he gets tailed, so he can't sort of respond. So the question is then asked by Vanessa, and he said, you intimidate me. And you could tell that there's this something that's just brewing there. And the problem with the ultimatum, what I've seen is at times you're given false hope that someone is going to leave their partner and they never do. So I've sort of started taking it with a glass of milk. I don't take it seriously because otherwise I'll die of indigestion. So I don't know. I really don't know. They sat down, they had a conversation which was very engaging and very interesting to see how they were flirting, how they sort of had similar backgrounds, similar values. And Dave, watching this, you could see him begin to boil. He was boiling until he walked over, because he's now intimidated and he's now worried that he's going to leave the experiment without his partner. And it's like, you signed on to this. You came here. You were bragging that Mariah was your top. You're bragging that you're the it. And so for you to now try and convince your partner to leave the experiment doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Are you leaving the experiment because you've learned something, or are you leaving the experiment because nobody wants you and you're afraid you're going to leave on your own? Which is it? If you were the one who was getting all the attention that she's getting, would you still be insistent that let's leave the experiment? Or would you want to stay in for the long haul and see what happens in the end? I have so many questions. Are people on the ultimatum to sort of test their marriages, their relationships, or they're on the ultimatum to hook up? Because this is the way it's coming across. You have JR sitting with Vanessa, and the way he was flirting so hard, is shocking to think that this is someone who's already in a relationship with someone and who has been given an ultimatum. For him to be making suggestive comments and be flirting and making sexual comments, I understand you're getting to know someone, but there's a way of getting to know someone without disrespecting your partner. I think Jerry is there just for an amazing time. He's just there for a good time. So whoever is unfortunate to sort of be in his trail, in his tracks, he's going to do whatever he wants with them. And because he knows he's good looking, because he started talking about the fact that, you know, he grew up in hotel, he was homeless, he lived in hotels, this, that, and the other. And then the way the flirting went left, it didn't make sense. And it sort of makes me question whether JR and Zaina are actually a couple, or whether they're two friends who came onto a TV show because they wanted to be famous and also to find their person. Because in the other corner, you have Zaina sort of flirting a storm with Scotty, and it's like, this is a bit inappropriate. If the two of you are in love and are really sort of questioning your relationship, you shouldn't be flirting that hard with other people. You shouldn't be making sexually suggestive comments. I didn't get it. And the level of disrespect for Zaina and Scotty to hold hands while they're going to get a drink doesn't make sense, because Aria was there. Aria is a very beautiful girl. And so if you tell me that, you know, her partner who says he wants to marry her is behaving in the way he did, I would have been surprised. I would have said no. And so for him to go there, get drinks, come back, sit down, and while he's getting drinks, he can actually see that his girl is crying, and he doesn't even pay attention to that. He keeps going, and it's like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. How can you not be bothered that your partner is crying? Someone you brought here is crying, and they're breaking down, and they're having to be consoled by Keller because you are still flirting up a storm. I didn't get it. And it seems like a common theme on, you know, the ultimatum, that every season, no matter what country, somebody has to cry, has to have a breakdown at the sort of dating stage because they can't handle seeing their partner with somebody else. And it's sad. It really is sad, and it's really disheartening to think, why sign up for something if you know that you're not strong enough to handle it? Or why bring your partner to something that you know that they won't be able to handle? Make it make sense. I didn't get it, and I didn't understand why, you know, you had Scotty do that to her. So for Aria to come back and sit down with Scotty and sort of break up him and Zaina and try and sort of make him understand how she felt, and for him to gaslight her and tell her, I didn't hold her hand, I didn't disrespect you. And it's like, buddy, you're on camera. What do you mean you didn't disrespect her? We all saw you disrespect her, hold another lady's hand. And so for you to turn around and say, no, I didn't respect her. Are you kidding us? Do you think we're blind? Do you think we can't see exactly what we're watching on TV? Make it make sense. I didn't like that. I felt it was disrespectful. I felt it was inappropriate, and I felt it was uncalled for. And I don't know what made him think he was right to do that. So I don't know. I can't wait to see what happens in the next episode. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from season 2, The Ultimatum. Bye guys.